And we talked about last time, you're a minimalist in a lot of different areas, including oral hygiene. You weren't using toothpaste last time. And I saw in a recent video you posted, in the shower, you're using baking soda and vinegar instead of soap.
I don't even use soap in the shower, man. I mean, you can. I think that if you wanted to use a soap, there's stuff like Bronner's, which seems pretty clean. We can talk about the toothpaste piece first. Definitely, I don't think using a toothpaste with fluoride is a good idea. Fluoride is probably not something your teeth need. If you eat fat-soluble vitamins from meat and organs and eggs and cheese and milk, your teeth will be super healthy and you won't get cavities. There are immune cells in your teeth called odontoblasts, and they need fat-soluble vitamins, particularly vitamin K2, vitamin A. So you have to eat meat and liver. And those cells determine cavities. And so you can eat fruit and honey and not get cavities as long as you're getting enough fat-soluble vitamins. Toothpaste is not really the best way to prevent cavities, and certainly fluoride is not the best way to prevent cavities. There's lots of research now pointing to associations between fluoride and water and lower IQs in kids. It's a big deal and not something to be ignored. Again, more research is needed, but caution would suggest you don't drink water with fluoride in it. You don't shower with water containing fluoride. These are probably not good for you. And I think most toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride is just kind of it's just a vanity thing. My breath doesn't smell bad. When I kiss people, they tell me it's just fine. I don't think I've ever had a girl tell me that my breath smelled bad. I always ask them, like, do I smell bad? Or please tell me. Bad breath is not the result of not using toothpaste. It's the result of dysbiosis in your gut related to poor diet. So halitosis is the technical term for it. We've all been around someone with halitosis, and it's intense. You can sit feet away from someone and smell their bad breath. And on the flip side, humans appear to release pheromones from our mouth, our armpits, our groin. And those pheromones are important for pair bonding and attracting a mate or being attracted to your partner. So I've actually had women that I've dated tell me they like the smell of my breath. It's like kind of a turn on or something. And that's interesting, right? So why would I want to blunt that with a toothpaste? I don't need my breath to smell like mint. I just want my breath to smell like a human breath. And this is just me personally, but if a woman doesn't want that, then she's probably not the right woman for me. So I think toothpaste is kind of silly. You don't need toothpaste to remove the plaque from your teeth. You just need a brush. And I mean, this is going pretty far down the rabbit hole. People will just roll their eyes, but I think this is great. I love this. I brush my teeth with a bamboo toothbrush with boar's hair bristles because why would I put more plastic in my mouth and ingest more microplastics? Doesn't make sense to me. So you can get boar's hair toothbrushes on Amazon. We should probably sell that I should probably make that and just sell Lineage branded boar's hair toothbrushes. Maybe we'll do that soon. Because I love this. It's a great thing. It feels like a real toothbrush, but there's no microplastics in the bristles. And I don't have a plastic toothbrush in my mouth. And I'm just brushing with water, honestly. And my water at my house doesn't have fluoride. And it's fine. I mean, my teeth are, reasonable. I don't bleach my teeth. I don't do anything to my teeth other than brush my teeth. I also use floss. I do think about the compounds in the floss because a lot of floss, especially Glide floss, contains forever chemicals, PFAs. They've shown this in women using floss that when they use Glide floss, their levels of PFAs, forever chemicals, go up. So you can imagine that just pressing a piece of string coated with forever chemicals in your mouth repeatedly is a great way to expose yourself to perfluoroalkyl compounds. You don't want that in your floss. So I'll use a PFA-free floss or a silk floss that has obviously no plastic or plastic derivatives. So I think about what's going in my mouth. Mouthwash has been shown, I think, in multiple studies now to actually completely nuke the flora in your mouth. And you need microbiota in your mouth to make nitric oxide. And I believe that it actually attenuates gym performance. So they've done studies on either men and women, and they use mouthwash before they go to the gym. And I think they can lift less because of the nitric oxide detrimental effects, associated with a mouthwash. So mouthwash, again, I used to use it like crazy. I remember going on dates and my family would say, I can smell the mouthwash across the room. And I said, great. I love the smell of mouthwash. It feels good. And I think, I'm just cleaning my mouth. It's so easy. I can just gargle something and spit it out, but it's horrible for your oral microbiome and actually has negative effects in humans. We need that oral microbiome to, also probably improve blood pressure. And I think that the mouthwashes could potentially, and they might have even actually been studied for this effect, negatively affect arterial vasodilatation and negatively affect blood pressure. So mouthwash, bullshit. Most toothpaste, bullshit. Look, if you want to use a fluoride-free toothpaste, that's super simple. Fine, knock yourself out. You don't need it. Don't use a toothbrush with plastic bristles. Don't use a plastic toothbrush. That's all kind of silly to me. I don't shower with soap. If you want to use soap, fine, but I don't like parabens. I don't like phthalates. I don't want fragrances. I don't wear cologne. And I've had multiple people smell me on podcasts now. It's like a thing. And I always get a little nervous, but nobody's ever said that it smells bad. I mean, Jake Paul smelled me when I was on his podcast. I recently did a podcast with Cody Sanchez in Austin, and she just came right over and smelled me. So I don't use deodorant. If you want to use a natural deodorant, you could use something like, apple cider vinegar, or vinegar could work. Rubbing alcohol works. It's not as abrasive as it sounds. There are natural deodorants out there, but again, even a lot of natural deodorants could have parabens, they could have phthalates. And I'm just trying to limit the amount of endocrine disrupting chemicals that are going onto my skin. It's an absorptive organ. I mean, there's a study that I came across recently. We can talk about clothing for a minute. Women who exercise in sports bras and leggings that contain BPA, BPS, or other endocrine disrupting chemicals that contain forever chemicals, there are measurably increased significant levels of absorption in sweat, when they're sweating. So like if you're wearing a sports bra or leggings to go to coffee with your friend, probably not a big deal. If you're exercising and sweating in these things, there's notable significant absorption of the chemicals from these garments into our blood. Okay, that's not great. I mean, think about how many people go to the gym and wear polyester shorts when they're exercising. You are absolutely affecting your balls negatively, men and women who don't have balls, ovaries. It's getting absorbed through your vagina, through the vaginal mucosa. It's all happening when we're exercising in polyester containing clothing. So there's a massive argument. Don't sweat in things that are polyester or derivatives. They almost certainly contain forever chemicals. I've talked about this with Lululemon leggings, which have been tested for the fluorine derivatives, which are an indication of PFAs, perfluoroalkyl compound substances. That's the fluorine moiety in these compounds, which are the forever chemicals, known endocrine disruptors. Don't exercise in those. It's a bad idea. I wouldn't wear them ever, but look, if you're not sweating in them, okay, fine. You want to go to a nice dinner with your wife or your husband, you want to put on something polyester, fine. The biggest input, the biggest increase in absorption is through the sweat, or while we're sweating.
Hearing you talk about diet, your lifestyle, walking us through different areas of your life, and the level of simplicity you've gotten to sounds so appealing and freeing. For me, I'm very cognizant of everything you're talking about and make great choices, but it's still more complex. I love the level you've taken this to, where I'm guessing you can clarify it over time, slowly simplified and cleared out the things you don't need.
Yeah. I mean, I like simplicity. I like minimalism. And when there are things that I like, I really appreciate those. It helps me appreciate the things that are very valuable in my life. I don't need a complicated life. I don't even have a TV in my house, man. I don't, it's not that I don't watch things occasionally on my computer, but I don't have a TV. I don't have a microwave. It's a simple thing. And I think that's great. I think about the clothing. I think that it's just what we were talking about earlier. I think there's a lot of power in intention. And when I'm intentionally thinking about various aspects of my life over time, it doesn't happen overnight. I strongly believe that will positively impact my future health, the health of my family, future children, right? These are all things that I want to have already figured out before any of that happens, because that's important. And it's hard to make these changes in our lives. And so, yeah, I think about the air in my house and the quality of my water and what I'm putting on my body in every way, shape, and form. And because that's valuable to me. That's a really big ROI. So the return on investment there is massive. And yeah, it costs me a little bit. It's inconvenient in some ways, but I think we get so much when we do things that are difficult and we do things that are inconvenient. There's such a good upside to that. It's unquestionable.
If you enjoyed that clip, you're going to want to head over here and catch a full episode. I'll see you over there.
Excess linoleic acid in the human diet leads to excess linoleic acid in human cell membranes. And that creates an oxidative liability for us. It puts extra stress on the body. It's sort of like having extra dry wood around your cabin in the mountains and always running your wood burning stove.